Hey guys, I'm gonna go ahead and install a new rear bumper on a 2006 Arctic Cat Prowler. This is the OEM. There is the part number, and I'll list it in the description as well. If you can find one, or if you have one and you need to install it. These instructions aren't the greatest, so I'm gonna try to give you guys a little bit of feedback here. So first thing you're going to need to do is remove some carriage bolts that are attaching the bed to the body, and you'll need a 13mm socket. I went ahead and removed it, so I'll go ahead and show you what I did. Go into the bed, and not this one in the corner, but this one. These are the ones you want to remove. They kind of look like that, right? Underneath there's a 13mm socket underneath, so just get your socket on there, spin those off. It says to retain these, so we'll see where we're going to reuse them, but that's step one. All right, step two. This kit comes with new carriage bolts. Mine already had the washers and the lock nut pre-installed on it. So the next step is actually mounting the bumper. So we're going to reuse these plates and kind of show you the next step. So we'll reinstall these plates. You'll see that this hole right here is slotted, this is slotted, so just make sure they go the same way. So reinstall those. There's your new carriage bolts. Now, this next step is going to require a second set of hands, I think, which I don't currently have, so let's see what I can come up with. But we've got to actually mount the bumper. You can see that these carriage bolts stick down right here underneath the frame, so we're going to mount the bumper and then loosely install the washer and then the lock nuts. So I'm gonna have to do this off camera because I'm gonna need both hands and attempt to do this by myself. We'll see how lucky I get. All right, so got this very loosely set in place. Just ran the lock nuts up to where they started to get tight, just to kind of hold it. These screws are slotted, so I can work with the final location of where I want it. Got a little creative since I was by myself. Just put a few heavy things on top of that to keep that carriage bolt from popping up and not being able to just spinning in place. So that helped me with a second set of hands. Couldn't have done it while holding the GoPro, so sorry about that. Step three. Alright, so I went ahead and tightened this down to get it where I want it, because the next step is one of these holes. There's two holes inside the bracket there and there. One of them uses this existing carriage bolt, or excuse me, the slot for the carriage bolt. Put a new one in there. Then we're gonna have to drill the other one. So I went ahead and kind of played with it. That first hole is slotted, so this thing's got about 3/4 of an inch of play in and out. The farther you come out this way, the least your tailgate will drop. Farther you go in there, the more the tailgate will drop. This was good enough for me right here. I don't necessarily like the way it rests on the bumper, but it comes with little bump stops that I think are going to go here and here to kind of protect the tailgate. But regardless, when you dump it, it's not going to be a problem. So I think that was first couple steps. Next one, I think I have to start drilling. So let me get everything together and I'll kind of show you what that looks like. All right, so next step here is to install these rivet nuts that come with it. You're going to need a rivet tool, a rivet nut tool. And basically all this does is you thread this onto the end, and when you squeeze, it pulls this, and when you push it in the hole, I don't know, basically tightens it up. It'll expand and hold in the hole. You can actually do this with screws, but I actually have one of the tools, so I'm just going to use that. Alright, so sorry, didn't have the tool set up right. Try this again. Now you want to do this a few different times. So we're going to tighten it back up. Set it. Tighten it back up. Alright, and that should be good. Nutzert is installed. So we're going to do that same thing on the other side. Run it all the way to the stop. Push it in. Open it back up. Tighten it. Again. And tighten it. Look at that. That one failed. See that? I didn't have it pushed down all the way. That's not good. Well, good news is I have spares. If I can find them. M6. You know what? I'm going to use the ones that came with it, and they don't give you any spares. Unfortunately, you get one shot. It's pretty irritating. I don't know what's going on. Try it again. So I did have it good the first time, but it's popping up. So I'm going to make sure I'm putting pressure down. That one looks like it bit a little better. Tighten it back up. Downward pressure. Clamp. Tighten it back up. Okay. Right. Two nutzerts are in there. And these little bumpers are meant to protect the tailgate, I guess. That one's on there pretty good. Put this one on there. Okay, that one's on there. Boom. All right, kind of skipped around some steps. Next step, I have to get under here. So I'm gonna load this bed. We'll see if we can tilt the bed up, make things a little easier. Basically, the only thing that's left is you're not gonna be able to see it, but we gotta drill a hole up here into this frame here, but you can kind of see this thing's sitting a little crooked. I also noticed how close it is to the tire. There's supposed to be a bracket in there in case we gotta space this thing out somehow. I'm not really sure how, or I don't know. We'll figure it out. First things first, I want to bring this bumper in, I think a little further. I want to bring it all the way in. So that's what I'm gonna do right now. So, see if I can get in here on it. Just pulling it forward as far as I can. Same thing on this side. You know, actually, what I don't like here is how that's sitting. Let me go ahead and loosen the other side a little bit. So why is it not wanting to pull up flat? Okay, I see. And then if I go all the way forward, it hits there. So I do want to put a space. Sorry guys, if I go all the way forward, it hits this, which means it's going to rub on it as it rotates. So I'm going to back off that just a little bit. So what I need to do is mark that upper hole. It basically said get it where you want it, hit it with a center punch. I'm going to do it a little different. So, here's my bumper, and see how it's touching up here? Don't really love that. So, what I'm going to do is just pull it back, call it about 1/4 of an inch on both sides. Let's get it right where we like it. Okay, I'm gonna call that good, and what I'm gonna do now is mark the hole, and that didn't do it. Let's try it again. Okay, all right guys, so got my holes marked. I'm gonna try it. This is a nail set, not a center punch, but we're gonna try it anyway. What I'm trying to do is just get close to the center of that. And close your eyes. And all I'm trying to do is create just a tiny little divot so that my drill doesn't want to walk. I didn't hit it hard enough. That'll be all right. Metal shavings are hot. And yes, I do have glasses on. I'm using a 3/8 bit. The instructions said to use a 25/64. If you do the math, 3/8 ends up being 24/64. And I did check it, a nut zert will fit in there, so that's the goal. We'll be fine. Just that's why I kind of walked it around a little bit. So let me do the same thing on the other side, then get back with you. Alright guys, now we get to see what kind of job we did. So I got the nut zerts in on both sides. Kind of a pain with the length of the tool and the clearances, but you know, whatever. Let's just hope that this aligns. So let's see what happens. Let's go ahead and get one of them started. Okay. Then we slide over to this other side. Do the same. Oh yeah, that's gonna work. Oh, sorry guys, camera fell. Alright, sorry. So I had to put that weight back in the bed, because every time I was trying to start the thread, this would drop out. Okay. The instruction manual says to tighten these first, so we're gonna go ahead and do that. Just gonna get them up close on that side and get it up close on the other. And that's a T30 Torx. And then I'm just kind of eyeballing my clearances here. That'll be good enough. So we're going to tighten this one. And yeah, there probably are torque specs for this on that sheet, but this shit ain't going anywhere. All right, so we got it all installed. Bumper. Now let's check to make sure we clear the tires. Ooh, that's close, but it doesn't hit the tires, so we're good. Bumper's installed. Anyway guys, got a few more projects on this thing. Make a couple videos, put them together, but there's not a lot of information online on these Arctic Cat Prowlers, so I figured I'd make this just to make somebody's life maybe a little easier, at least see what they're getting into if they decide to, if you can find a bumper, and then if you decide to put it on. So anyway guys, thanks for watching. Till next time.